Okay, so motor babbling is this idea of babbling in movement, which I think we have all experienced before. Um, and it's also in machine learning. And so machines even are learning how to move by practice, right? If they don't know how they move, they need to practice to move. So I feel like for humans, this idea just gives us the freedom to not move in our regular patterns so that we can kind of break away from some of our default mode network, the way that we just organize as normal. I'm just saying all of this just to go over it. Um, so with motor babbling, it might be that we start to find things that we can let go of while we're in our process of discovery of what it's like. And there's a thing called pruning, neural pruning, or it's so when we have like the default mode network, our predictive processing, the way that we normally do things, and we're not really gathering information from the field, we're actually just kind of in the brain image of what is going on all the time. Like our brain isn't taking everything in, it's creating an image of what we think is there. And so when we work with this, we are inviting ourselves to see with a little more clarity what's actually there. And as we're seeing what's there, maybe there are some things that we can let go of and do some of this pruning. Like right now, I just think of my head and my brain as this big, huge tree with lots of branches and leaves. And maybe there's some, crusty old leaves that are ready to shed and let go. So kind of like this idea of even as it is summer coming or we're arising in summer, maybe a little bit of the letting go of some of the leaves that are in your neural networks, some of the connections that maybe aren't the most helpful at this point in your life. So that's my spiel into it. Um, and we're gonna start with a few different continuum breaths that are just to help us come into the more open space. And so one of them is just a hum. But with the hum, you're going to close your eyes and you can if you feel comfortable closing your eyes, you can also open them whenever you want. But you're going to close your eyes and you're just going to let your tongue orbit around the inside of your mouth. And it might be like this. And depending on how interesting it is for you inside of there, how interesting it is for your tongue, like it might be like, oh, I kind of want to hang out here. This is an interesting space where there's feeling. As much as you can, keep dropping into the experience of, excuse me, the experience of what's going on. And that's from glugging down all that water. Drop into the experience of what is going on and feel what's fresh and new about it. So as your tongue is exploring in there, let it be like an octopus limb tentacle, like feeling inside what's in here. And if you get tired, take a breath, take resting breaths, stop doing it for a while. But if it's possible, try to get like roughly 3 times in one direction, 3 times in the other direction. It may be that you are like me and sticking with the program is challenging. So you may run off in other directions and do something different, which is totally fine. So maybe for just a couple minutes, we'll do that humming with the tongue exploring. It can also explore inside your mouth, in behind your teeth. But there's something about coming around this lip edge that can be freeing. So in the interests of letting go of, this could be the beginning of the motor babbling of your tongue going around inside there, just seeing what it's like to be that, to have that. So we'll do that for a couple of minutes. Just dropping into your embodied experience, this present moment being you in your body, and starting whenever you feel ready to start, which might not be right away. You might need a minute or two of settling before getting going, like I seem to need. Inhale, pause, rest whenever you need to. Let it be an exploration. Going out to sea for the first time in this tongue boat. Feeling into the vibration of the sound, the humming. It comes to mind that, like, when we are first born, one of the first things we do is latch on to the boob if we're lucky, or a bottle if we're not quite so lucky. And so there's a lot of stuff in that suck and grab. There's a lot of information that we're learning through our mouth, through as we're taking in sustenance, nourishment. And you can see it in little baby animals. They have a response to find the nipple, and human babies do too. There's like a mouthing thing that they do where they're turning their head to find nipple. So baby animals really will. I just saw it recently where there was a mama opossum, and a woman was introducing this mama opossum to some fresh baby opossums that had been, their mother was hit by a car or something. So it's tiny little creatures, and they know right how to go in there and find the boob. So just bringing in that awareness of this, like, this is a body that is not fully formed or know really how to do anything, but we have these instincts to go in and seek nourishment, right? It's in our DNA, it's in our movement. Lots of thinky about this. But as I was in there, I was feeling into that, all that mouthy stuff. And then also we tend to hold a lot of tension in our mouths. So how we hold tension. I feel like the slack face of the meditator when it's really relaxed, like it's very different than your daily I'm talking to people face. So let's go with a little bit of theta breath. And this time, instead of making the orbits with our mouth, we'll have the soft hiss. And what you're going to do is really super gently around the orbit of your eye, not in your eyeball, but around the edges. You're just going to make your way with your fingers, kind of babbling with your fingers to touch your eyes. So if you have glasses, take them off. And we'll work with the theta breath and let the fingers make a few orbits really, really light and gentle, awakening this tissue and touching into it with a theta breath. If the theta breath doesn't feel good, the soft hiss, um, you can change it to anything else. You could do ujjayi breathing or breathe without any breath sounds, but I think the theta might help. So we'll do, like, it could be one at a time, it could be both. When you're finished with it, just do your hands over your eyes and let them hang out with your hands covering your eyes for a little while. So little tiny fingertip touches around a few times, and then hands on eyes with theta. Little tree frog fingers, fingertips. So from there, I want to sort of play with this idea. We're going to get into full-on, completely free flow motor babbling, but because I love the head-tail connection so much, I would like to invite in our own head-tail babbling, like just tail to head, free flow. If you were a snake or just a river moving through the center of your body, how would that move? So playing with that, I'm going to give us a little bit of music for that. And you can tell me if it's not loud enough. It'll come in more in a second, so give it a minute. And you can add theta with this as well. So theta is a great nervous system reliever. Slow it down, extend that exhale, let the steam gently release out of the system. How's that volume? Is that okay? Yeah. So tuning into this head-tail sort of midline awakening, as if it is a fluid system, and even the hard, more dense parts that you encounter are filled with water. So even your bones are filled with water. Inviting ripples, waves, undulations into that whole head tail. And you could think of the entire length from head to tail, or you could make your way from the top down to the bottom and then bring your way back up. So let yourself play with it in whatever way feels most interesting, and we'll do that for a couple of minutes. Letting your awareness move through your system in some way that feels right to you. Slowing down whenever you need to slow down, pausing whenever you need to pause, speeding up whenever you want to speed up. Just had this image of like a snail body with its eye stalks, the stalks of eyes. So imagining kind of like your eyes are like these stalks connecting onto that central body. Stalks that can reach out or come back in, retreat, advance, drop in. And as you're in this exploration, as much as possible, let go of being the person doing it. Let go of doing the exploration and just allow the exploration to be the arising curiosity of movement, if possible. Imagine like the light of awareness just shining around in your body, and you're following that. as we're in here, we've got the head tail awareness. Let's start to also notice that not only do we have this sort of big bulb of a cranium up here, and down around our tail we have this pelvic bowl, we also have this basket of ribs. I haven't quite found the right word for the ribs, but basket. Cage has prism-like qualities, but the basket, the rib basket. Feeling into and feeling how the relationship between the three shifts as things shift. And if other parts want to come online with curiosity, they're absolutely welcome to. If the eye stalks or other body stalks start to evolve, let them come into the awakening. We feel like bringing in these big, bulbous, round, bony organ containers, organ baskets, living bone, living tissue, fluid system. And imagine even that you can just move from the water in your body. The water in your body moves you. It doesn't have to be big, could be very small. Wave-like ripples. Sloshes. Sloshing, surging. And as we're in this exploration with this motor babbling, maybe other senses are coming in. Like maybe there's hearing, sound is coming in. Feeling how that lands in this system. The sensation of skin, touch, surroundings, part of your exploration. I'm going to take it down onto the floor. Just going to offer one, before getting all the way down to the floor, just want to offer this as a midway point to play with, again, the possibility of your spine, your spinal motor babbling, head, tail, ribs, motor babbling, the body table, the invitation to all pets for something to go under has been set up here. Having a body on all fours is definitely an invitation into noticing that there are limbs here. If you want to go straight down to your back, you're totally welcome to do that. It's just a stopping point on the way to provide.
Wow. Now that you're on the floor, can you turn the music a little bit up?
Up?
Thank you.
Yeah. How's that?
More?
A little bit more? There? Good. Okay. So same thing here. As if you've just come into this ocean body, or maybe it's a star body, or an earth body, or an air body. What does an air body feel like? A wind bag. Letting yourself have the experience of your body as elemental and feel what is possible. Letting go of any planning. So as soon as you notice you're kind of going in a direction with a plan and you know where you're about to go, change the direction. Moving towards novelty, moving towards the unfamiliar. Once you've figured something out, move on. This is the moment to get into the tree and start pruning. Maybe some leaves, maybe it's whole branches that are ready to go as other new growth is coming in. I just had a big maple tree outside the front of my house pruned. And you could ask your deep cellular body and your highest, like, healing, healthy inner wisdom part to be with you in this, so that you are letting go of whatever you're ready to let go of, and also finding new novel possibilities. I have an assistant. Everything that is information for your body, even a large cat sitting on you or anything like that, letting it be information and resource. Imagining that all the information coming in is resourceful for you, gives you more resource in your own reservoir. Letting the pattern evolve from center to edge, so that we start to really uncover the potential movement of these tributaries, these branches, these pathways out to other body parts. There are those times when babies find body parts. Babies find their feet. They find their their toes, their nose, finding different body parts. So maybe there's learning also on this sensory level of the skin, or touch to touch, part to part. In the work of Emily Conrad, who developed this whole continuum business, which a lot of my work is influenced by, the idea is that we're like recapitulating life on Earth in all of its expressions. So even like being creatures in the sea, in the ocean, and relating out to the cosmos. In this biomorphic experience of being alive in a body of water. Change the music just so that we get a little bit more differentiation possible in our movement. What we were just listening to is Ambient Fields, album 1. But we're going to move to, I think we're going to go to Wakuma's Wave, which is there it is. Byron Metcalf, Mark Selig, and Steve Roach. This will need its own sound check as well. And of course, it gets louder as it gets going. So in this moment, if it's possible to forget that you're even a human, let go of that idea and just be an organism by yourself or in the space or with another organism. Letting go of the layers of you-ness, having a personality and being a person, to come into this experience of being in a body, an organic body, in connection with whatever is around you. And in this organic body, again, sort of elemental organic body, there are possibilities for really tiny little micro movements and also much bigger macro movements. So let yourself play back and forth with that, going back and forth between micro and macro. I almost feel like I have these little micro clouds of movement happening in a few locations. Little clouds of micro movements. If stories are happening or images or thinking, let it just flow by like a river. The river of thought or the river of images, the river of stories. Now I've got a double cat infestation. And in this place, you may notice like parts of your body that feel very weightless and light and floaty. Or your experience may feel like that. Or it may feel very dense and grounded and full of gravity and connected to the earth. I feel like I have both things going on at the same time. Still bringing in the micro-macro explorations. Total permission to rest. Anytime, take a rest, take a break. Also, anytime you want to, if you feel like, oh, I'm gonna need something else to do, or you can always come back to doing the tongue exploration or the very light eye touch with the hum or with theta breath. Bringing in the vibrational sounds sometimes is a great way to open up to novel sensation. And if we need moments to feel safe and self-like ourselves, all we have to do is come back to our normal patterning. Or go to the bathroom, get a drink of water. Yeah, the groundlessness of the unfamiliar, or letting go of the selfing instinct to be in the open exploration. Getting the living system of your biomorphic body this opportunity to process and clear any kind of stuckness in there, or any kind of, for me, if I in these type of explorations, a lot of times it's processing without words or thoughts other things that are happening in my life. It's like, it's like the internal laundry washing machine happens because of all of the micro macro movement and moving towards what feels good as much as possible. What's curious, what feels good. Sometimes there's some pain that we want to keep coming back to. If I work harder here, I can get rid of that pain, and that might be true, but if possible, keep coming back to also what feels good, what feels curious. What can I, in what way can I release the tension of my fist or my mind or my foot or my butt? Butts hold a lot of tension. Guts hold a lot of tension. Coming back to this curious motor babbling exploration. With the inner space moving in the outer space. Letting go with the supposed to or should as much as possible. My body is supposed to do this, or it should look like that. Letting go of that. It should function in this way. Letting go of that and just being in this curious flow. Nervous system suspended in a floating in fluid, right? Floating, suspended, nourished. The interstitium, the fluid system, directly woven together at fluids. Are fluids woven with your fascia, right? This fluid system supporting your whole body. And when we move, it squishes around, it renegotiates that space inside your body. The lymphatic system, flushing with movement. what if we weren't human bodies at all? What if we were just like a cloud of gases floating in the galaxy, free flowing, not contained? Like you see those colors in space. What if we were the colors from space? Not in an H.P. Lovecraft horror way, but in a delightful, energetic way. Just part of the cosmic anatomy. Yes. We're going to go back into the cosmos, or out into the cosmos, an invitation out into the cosmos with some wild abandon. Maybe you're a rock in space. I don't know. Maybe there's some other makeup. Maybe you're not just cosmic gases. Maybe your body is a whole ecosystem. A cosmic ecosystem. There are cosmic toe beans in this ecosystem. Maybe there's like some swirly shifts of tension and relaxation happening. Right? We don't have to let go of all tension, just be like a soup spreading out on the floor. We can also have these swirling tensions, counter tensions that are movement. fractal patterns. Your motor babbling is about knowing your environment more than knowing your own movement, right? What if there was no sight? Finding your way through space, babbling through your surroundings to learn them. Coming back to familiar whenever you need to. Water babbling exploration could take place in any relationship to gravity. curious might be to follow where a movement starts and then where it goes to. So the initiation to the follow through. I feel like in this exploration, like it's not trying to do anything, it's trying to undo, although a lot of things are happening. Unwinding the patterns, combing through, and then finding new patterns. Combing maybe isn't the right word. So sometimes I say, and some of you have heard this, it's like if you were an alien that landed in this body and was trying to figure out how it moved and what it could do. But you want to imagine that the alien didn't land in some untalented lump of flesh. This alien landed in like an incredible dancer with amazing skills, or an athlete, or, hyper intelligent physicality. And it's not like, oh, I want to see if it can do the splits. It's more like, oh, what feels good in this movement? What feels like it goes with this body? Or might go with this body. Or you landed in an octopus. Highly intelligent. Embodiment. Or maybe like a a centipede. So many legs. What do you do with all those legs? Or a sea squirt. Those are funny creatures. You can squirt. Or a giraffe. Okay, let's take it down to one last song and let yourself come in. So this is kind of like Shavasana rest time. However, Should you need to sleep or move more, you can totally do that just to let it wind down. Taking off all the costumes, washing away the body paint, and just coming down back into yourself, back into you of this moment, even though you've been here all along. Maybe there's movement, maybe there's stillness. But coming in with kindness and gentleness. This work can be recuperative, but it can also be exhausting. Permission for you to come in with whatever you need. Groundless, still emptiness in the silence of your own experience, or movement and activity, rolling, softening, whatever it is, allowing it in. Maybe in this space, as you're tuning into your experience with compassion, maybe sending some compassion out to the rest of the group and letting that radiate outward to each person, their families, their lives. So some metta. If you're doing your own thing and you feel good there, you don't have to do metta, but metta always feels good for me. Your metta can radiate out as far as you want to send it. any other magical practice. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude for showing up for yourself, for me, for all of us. Gratitude for being a human in a body. Gratitude for your body, your as is body. Gratitude for the planet, the air, the water, the earth, the fire, the creatures, the plants, the ozone.